Hello there. I just want to take a moment to go over some of these graphs and statistics with you. So here we have a graph showing the sales to new listings ratio, a 12-month moving average. This goes right back to 1995, so you can see we've definitely been through some cycles over the years. Most recently here in this kind of 2020, 2022 run up. Now this isn't the prices, but these periods of time when we're in a seller's market above the line here of the balance market, you're going to see greater price appreciation, especially here in 2021, 2022, prices went up so very, very quickly before correcting and then kind of staying steady the last couple of years within the North Okanagan. There's a common misconception, I think, in the North Okanagan here that we're in a buyer's market, which, I mean, we're probably closer to the buyer side than the seller side of the balanced market, but technically we are in a balanced market. And in a balanced market, you'll typically see prices kind of stay steady or stick to inflation or just above, whereas a buyer's market, you'll actually see corrections, prices going down, and we've seen some of that in Vancouver and other markets, but yeah, again, for the North Okanagan, been fairly steady as she goes here the last couple of years. And I'm going to pull up the home price index. And so this goes back to a benchmark price of 200,000 back in January 2005 to currently up over 600,000, basically tripled in 20 years. And this shows basically your benchmark price, kind of a standard home determined by the formula over a period of time, and if you've had the standard upkeep with it, this would be kind of the index that it would follow. So if it was worth 200,000 back then, it would be worth approximately 636,000 now. That's a little tool that we have, and it's a good I find this tool is a good way to explain to people what the market's actually done over the years, and because you can see here, when we hit a peak here back in April 2008, and then again there was this big correction, and then we saw the same thing here with up April 2022 when we hit the peak price, and then a quick correction, and then now somewhat steady. And moving on, this is the Association of Interior Realtor Statistics for January 2026, and this compares statistics to January of 2025. So when you see this down 1.3%, that's down 1.3% from January 2025. So basically right on par as far as units sold. The new listings is actually down 15%. With the new listings, they typically follow a cycle. The spring push, a little quieter in the summer, and then September, October, another push before things get real quiet in November and especially December. So that follows a cycle, and even with the changing markets, it typically the amount of listings stays relatively stable. What really fluctuates is the buyer demand, people stepping in to buy homes, and that's if we see buyers stepping in this year, we'll start to see the prices go up a little bit, and there are many factors at play there, of course. Scrolling down, just taking a look at the benchmark prices across the Okanagan. Here, of course, the central Okanagan, a little higher at $1,060,000. Vernon, North Okanagan at $745,000. You got the Shuswap Revelstoke at $713,000, and then the South Okanagan at $711,000. And we got a little bit of information on townhomes and apartments as well. Your benchmark price for a townhome in the North Okanagan, currently $505,000, and about $325,000 for an apartment. So that's your review. Thanks.